Guess who finally got her Sojo back? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Ebony, and today I am back with a pattern review for you guys. So like I said in the beginning, I finally got my Sojo back, and I recently made Sewcially.Awkward. It is a Mimi G pattern. I'll actually put it up on the screen for you guys. I made view C, and yeah, I made it over the weekend, or over last weekend, and so I wrote down everything in my little sewing journal. So I'm just gonna go ahead and read each category, kind of tell you how that process went for me. Of course, let my beginners out there know if this pattern is beginner friendly, share any modifications I made, and all of that good stuff. So let's get into it. First things first, I do want to show you guys the line drawings of the pants as well. So again, I made view C, which is the longer version that Mimi G is wearing on the pattern. And it has a zipper on the side as well, and it doesn't have a waistband, it has a facing. So the cool thing about these pants is it doesn't have a fly front, it has a zipper on the side. For notions on the pattern envelope, it does say to use an invisible zipper, a 9-inch invisible zipper. However, I ended up using an all-purpose zipper for my pair, and I'll get into that a little bit later once I start talking about my modifications. I went ahead and made mine in the size 20. However, and let me actually look at the envelope here. So the size range of this pattern is size 6 to 24. So I made mine in the size 20, and that was based on the hip measurement. So for the hip for view C, it was a 46-inch, and my hips are around a 45. So I wanted to give myself at least 1 inch of ease. If you look at the cover, the pants fit very close, and I wanted mine to still have that tight fit but not be too tight, so I went with the 20. Normally in pants patterns for simplicity, I'm usually an 18, but in this case I decided to size up, and I'm really glad that I did. Even though I used a stretch woven, I'm not sure if I said that already, but I used a Bengaling fabric that I got from Fabric Mart, and it kind of has like a denim type of feel to it. I think the description of the fabric was denim-like, and so it kind of feels like jegging material, like it has like a slight bit of stretch, but it's sturdy enough like denim. Although this pattern doesn't have a rating, I personally would rate it as average. The instructions are very easy to follow. However, Mimi G does have a sew along on her YouTube channel, and I think it's also on the Simplicity channel as well. She kind of veers off, or not veers off, but her method is different than the instructions. And so I think if you're a beginner and you want to give this pattern a try, I wouldn't follow the instructions. I would just follow along or sew along with Mimi G. She doesn't follow the instructions exactly as the pattern states. So that's something to keep in mind. I also would rate this as average because you are having to install a zipper. And so that can kind of be intimidating. Of course, a beginner can definitely, if you take your time, you can sew a zipper. But if this is, you're just starting out, maybe don't jump right into this pattern. This pattern also has pin tucks in the front, and pin tucks are pretty easy to sew. But this pattern has pin tucks, and it also has darts, and the darts go through the pin tucks go through the dart. And so the instructions on how to sew the pin tucks over the darts felt a little confusing, which is why I would say follow Mimi G's sew along for this pattern. She made it very simple, and when you look at the instructions, it kind of overcomplicates it, but it's a very simple process. So definitely watch her sew along if you do plan to make these pants. A couple modifications that I made. So I did add some length to these pants, even though on the cover they look very long on Mimi G, but I'm pretty sure I'm way taller than her. So I didn't want to chance it, and so I ended up adding 1.5 inches to the length, because these pants have a 3-inch hem allowance because they're so like the bell at the bottom, and they, the larger the hem, the better that they fall. And so I didn't want to have to sacrifice any of the hems, so I went ahead and made them a little longer. I think if I make this pattern again though, I'll just make them 1 inch, or I'll extend 1 inch. I won't do the full 1.5 inches because they are a bit long for me. I don't really wear heels, and so these would be perfect, or at least the perfect length if I wore heels, but I wear like a tiny little chunky boot sometimes, and so my pants are still kind of dragging a little bit, but I'm okay with that. I don't think I want to make any modifications or take off any more of the length. Another modification I did is I changed the zipper from invisible to all-purpose. So I first inserted the invisible zipper and I tried on the pants, and you guys, the fabric was stretching. I used all that stretch that was in the fabric and it made me nervous, and I didn't want my zipper to pop. I know all-purpose zippers are a bit sturdier than invisible zippers, and so I went ahead and seam ripped the invisible zipper out and then put the all-purpose zipper in, and I felt so much better. It didn't feel like my fabric was gonna like have a hole in it or stretch or anything like that. The zipper just, it looked like it was struggling to like stay zipped. And so I decided to just kind of do my own thing and just use an all-purpose zipper, and I'm okay with that. I'm happy with the way it came out. The fabric is like a dark, I think it's like dark blue denim or denim-like, and the zipper I used is black, but it goes perfectly. So even though you can see the teeth of the zipper, I'm okay with that look. Like I said in the beginning, I did make mine in the size 20, and that was based off of my hip measurement. My hips are 45 and the hip measurement on the pattern is a 46. And so I wanted to give myself that 1 inch of ease. I'm very glad I did, because like I said, that invisible zipper was barely hanging on for its life. And so I'm really happy that I didn't size down or do my normal sizing with Simplicity, and I went ahead and sized up. They still fit a little snug, but they're supposed to, and I kind of like that fit. I think the pants, or the jeans I should say, fit me pretty well. I'm really happy with the fit. So even though I had to change the zipper type, I'm okay with that, and I would definitely make this pattern again. Now, if you guys made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Leave me a comment down below letting me know what you think. And before you go, I do want to do something special. I have this pattern in not my size, you guessed it. I bought this pattern way in the beginning of my sewing journey when I didn't know how to pick my correct size, and so I have the envelope in the sizes 6 to 14. And so if you're interested in this pattern, I'm definitely doing a giveaway, so I'll have the instructions in the description, but this giveaway is open to only US and Canada. You must be a subscriber of my channel. You have to like this video, and then you have to answer today's question of the day. So today's question of the day is, what is your TNT pattern? Meaning, what is your tried and true pattern? I want to know what pattern you gravitate to all the time. A pattern that you have traced, you keep buying. Let me know what your TNT pattern is down below. All right, well, I'll see you guys in my next upload. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys later.